Greetings. Welcome to the Money Script Podcast. I'm your host, Johanse Harrison, financial advisor and financial literacy educator. In each episode, you'll hear incredible interviews and get tips and strategies that you can implement into your daily life to help you improve your money script and grow your wealth. Thank you for taking some time with me today. Let's get into this episode of the Money Script. Well, hey, Khadijah, good to talk to you again. How have you been?
I'm good.
That is good. We appreciate you taking some time for us on the Money Script Podcast. We've got a very exciting episode today with the conversation we're having. I wanted to learn more about the process of having a baby. And no, I'm not talking about the birds and the bees conversation. I know that part already. But we're talking about having a baby the medical way. I guess that's the way of saying it in layman's terms.
Using assistive technology.
Using assistive technology. I love it. Yes, using assistive technology.
It's the term, the what did it call the mnemonic for it is ART, Assisted Reproductive Technology.
Art. How appropriate. That is. Wish I had thought of that. All right. So we're going to be, let's talk about art today. We're going to talk about art. So let's just start off just really quickly, or take as long as you like. Tell us, introduce yourself, tell us where you're from and your favorite color or something. I don't know. Talk to us.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I am Khadijah. I am a 39-year-old woman that lives in Los Angeles, California. I am the mom of a now 7-month-old little girl, and I am a registered nurse.
So you're now, not only do you live in Southern California, you're a homeowner in Southern California, which is awesome to say at 39. And you've had it for a while. How long have you been a homeowner?
This year makes 10 years.
10 years. So you were a homeowner before 30.
Right at 30. Yeah, so we closed on everything like that September, October. And yeah, I turned 30 that September.
Okay. So at 30.
2010, excuse me.
At 30. All right. Go you. Get it. I know that must have been a very interesting scenario, because 10 years ago, that would have been right after the crash? What year is this? 20?
And yeah, I got the tail end of it.
Okay. So you got a good deal then.
I did. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
Let me have some of your equity, man. So we're not going to talk about home ownership today. We want to talk about the beautiful piece of, I can't say piece of art, the beautiful art that is in your life now. You mentioned you have a 7-month-old, and she came to you in a very artistic way. Just tell me what led you to making the decision of taking the artistic route?
So like a lot of women, I was dating, and just hadn't really come upon the person that I would like to share child and family lifestyle with. I had several people that I was in love with and vice versa and so on and so forth, but just not one that either was taking the whole concept seriously, or just, other factors in there why I just didn't see it all the way through. And then I started thinking about it when I was about 35. And I said, time is going, and I just really didn't want to be that lady that's 40 or 41. And I finally go to the doctor and then they tell me, sorry, we can't help you, or sorry, we can help you, but it's really challenging. Your chances are very, very low. And I like to have a lot of options. I'm a person that likes to have a lot of options. So I just went in to do investigative work on myself to find out where I stood as a woman and where my organs were, my reproductive organs were, because they tell you that, as you get older, especially when you hit 35 and going up, it becomes challenging. And with that in mind, I just wanted to start somewhere, not even thinking that I wanted to finance it. Because for a long time, I used to think that people that did IVF or, had, bought sperm or embryos or any of that stuff, I just thought, I looked at it as buying a baby.
Well, yeah, it kind of is. I mean, that's one way to look at it. I mean, babies themselves, no matter how you get them, have a cost associated with them.
Yeah.
Even if you're doing it in the other artistic way, you still have to pay for the labor and delivery and all the years after that. Spoken as a father of a 18-year-old. Um, but there's more of an upfront cost, I guess you could say,
Yeah,
to this one.
correct.
And
Yeah,
there's a chance that it doesn't work the first time as well. All
correct.
right.
And I've had those experiences as well.
So how many years were you actually trying to complete your artwork?
So it took me with just different things involved and setbacks. It was about, I guess, 3 years total when I look at everything. I took some breaks in between there, so that's why we kind of have like a lengthy period. Probably there was about 9 months that I wasn't doing any trying, but there was one, like the first year that I did start it, I think was back in 2017, maybe the end of 2016, 2017. I was trying for a good 9 months, like back to back. So I was doing what's called IUI, intrauterine insemination, where you take the sperm and then just inject it into the uterus, and then it takes its natural course by trying to find the egg.
So that's
And
that's
I
known
did
as the turkey baster method, right?
perfect.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, I know that one. I've
And
seen
then
it on TV.
I 5 attempts at that, and there was nothing happening.
Wow,
And
five. So now each time were you using the same sperm specimen, or did you have to pick different ones? And how do you
so,
even do
yeah,
that? I
what
mean,
happened? Oh, sorry. Uh-huh.
I was saying, how do you even choose a sperm?
Donor. So it's almost like online dating. There's an online profile. I use California Cryobank. They have several other sperm banks throughout the U.S. But because I live in California, and then they are actually the number one ranked sperm bank for like the U.S. and internationally, just
Didn't know
because
that.
they house their own. Everything is done right on the premises or like right here in California locally. Like they don't have to ship anything out, and the freezing and the tanks and all that stuff is done here. So like the lab and everything is in Westwood, West LA, but then like the excess freezing and the cryo tanks and things like that where they hold all the specimens is located somewhere else. I forget at this moment, somewhere else in like Southern California.
So
Um,
so you said it's like online dating. I mean, they don't show you a picture of the person because then you might find out it's your coworker. I mean, how do they?
They show you a baby photo of
Oh,
the
okay,
individual.
got
And that
it.
kind of helps you determine, oh, is that baby cute? Is he not? He has certain features because my baby could possibly have that. Because some women solely choose a baby, a donor, I mean, based on what they're going to look like, the features. Some choose based on the profile, which is like what I did. I mean, I chose on both. Let me not confuse that. I
Okay.
did look at that baby picture and was like, oh, that's a cute baby. And he's got cute little hair or whatever.
Wait, so hold on. Did you see any ugly babies? I mean,
Yep.
okay. I'm to all of the children out there. There
Yep. Nothing
there's
personal.
no ugly babies. There's not. They're
I know
just
there's
not
beef,
as
but
cute as the next.
let's say there were less favorable
Less
features
favorable.
that I was
Yes.
interested in.
Okay, got it. But then you also looked at the so you knew what type of information did you find out about your donor?
Height, the basic stats like height, weight, eye color, medical history from not only from the donor but from the donor's parents and any of their related people, aunts and uncles. So if they had aunts and uncles that had some type of hypertension or cancer, that was listed in there.
Wow.
You get personality traits and checks. What else was in there? There's an essay that they write about themselves and answer a few questions. And then also the people, I don't know if the counselors, I guess, at the bank, they also do an interview and they write a synopsis of the person as well. So you get it from both angles. It's not like a biased angle.
Got it. Okay.
So all of that matched up. You also get to hear the person's voice. So there's different packages that you buy. There's like a bare minimum where you just look at the profile.
Well,
Then there's
that could be kind of seductive in a way.
The voice.
Well, you get to hear the voice. You've read their profile, so yeah, you could actually gain somewhat of an interest in that. Well, which is, I guess, that's what you're trying to do. Okay, that's all right. That's pretty interesting.
I honestly chose, and then another few friends of mine too that have gone through it. I chose the person as if I was going to date this person. That's how appealing they were to me. Like if I could see this person in person, this is the things that I would want to, sit down across from and, be engaged with.
So do you ever like hear a voice and you're like, hey, that voice sounds familiar? Does that happen now?
Well, for me, I didn't buy that part of the package, so I did not
hear the voice. Oh, okay. So that's an upgrade. So that's another. Well, because you also mentioned you had done it a few times. So how many different?
So yeah, I think I had 3 different donors that I had selected. So yeah, when you get on there, there's a plethora of selections, and it was kind of challenging. It was hard work because I had to narrow it down to like my top 3. I had started out with like a dozen.
Wow.
They're really interesting. And then I'm like, yeah, this is really hard. And I gave myself time to choose. I wasn't in a rush to be like, oh my God, I have a deadline by Friday. Each
smart.
time I signed on, I, tried to eliminate different things. The other factor too was the anonymity of it. So you have the option. There are some donors that are totally anonymous, meaning they don't ever want to meet the child or you or have any contact with you. Then there's some other ones that choose to be an open donor, meaning that once the child hits 18, you can reach out. You have the ability to reach out to them. And they will consider meeting up with you or having some type of contact, whether it be a letter or email, a phone call. The child can meet them, so on and so forth.
Well, that I have so many questions about that. That will have to be another episode because all these things come to mind of what if. I mean, a lot can happen in 18 years.
True.
But still, that's fascinating. So let's talk about the money part of it. Do you mind sharing with the people how much you invested in your art?
So it probably, estimated. I don't have an exact because I just didn't memorize that, but estimated with the purchase of the sperm, medications, because you have to get meds that prep your body or that synonymously align up your body with what the doctor wants to do at a certain time. So medications, the treatments and all that, healthcare side of it, it probably was a good, say 15 to 20,000.
Yes, that is a very expensive piece of artwork. Wow. Yeah, that's an investment. And that was over a 3-year period.
3 year. I started out doing IUI, which that wasn't costing me a lot. It was the IVF is what cost me a lot because I finally ended up doing 2 cycles of IVF, in vitro fertilization.
And that's the one where they go get your egg and then they join, meaning the doctors will take the sperm donor and they take an eggs sample. How many eggs do they get?
So they take how many eggs? Yeah, you have all the eggs that you are possibly normal. Take those and you take the sperm specimen, which there's millions of. So there's this little tiny vial about this size, literally, that has millions of sperm in that little vial.
Okay, everybody can see. So what she's showing me, and I promise you guys, one of these days this will be video. It's happening. We're working on it. But she's holding her fingers about 1.5 inches apart. So there's this tiny vial that has millions of sperm in it. Is that what you said?
Correct. Yep.
And
And they
then
take that specimen of those millions. I don't know how much comes out when they take it out in
oh,
the
it's still
catheter.
millions. There's millions in like a drop or something. Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah,
Let's just go with a lot. They take a bunch, a whole bunch
correct.
of sperm.
Yeah, and they inject it into the eggs, each egg. So it's in a round petri dish. These eggs are sitting in there. And then they actually, and you can YouTube it on what it looks like. They'll show you medically what that process looks like when the embryologist does. That's the name of the doctor that does the create.
Insemination. No, the
Yes,
insemination when it goes back inside of you.
correct. There's
Okay.
a terminology for when they do it. I'm just calling it creation right now, but in the petri dish, they take and they inject that sperm into that egg, and then it's supposed to form into an embryo, which then now they will put into the uterus of my body.
And then the goal is that the egg will bury itself in the uterine wall and attach an umbilical cord to start growing.
Yep.
Wow, fascinating. Now that you said that was the second process. You went through IUI first and then IVF, and IVF sounds like a more costly
It is.
process.
And
Okay.
it's not covered by lots of insurances, which it wasn't covered. None of it, no parts of that was covered by my insurance.
Got it. Got it. So that was probably the majority of your investment was that last piece of it.
Correct. Now, from the day one, I always had to buy the sperm specimen. Even when I was doing the IUI, I had to purchase that. And that alone by itself, a specimen vial can run anywhere from $900 to $1,000 per
Oh wait,
vial.
wait. How much are they paying us? I gotta look that up.
Paying the man when you make the
Yes.
donation.
And you get $1,000? Man, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's what I paid California Cryo,
So
but
you excuse me, you're paying
I don't know what
$1,000.
they're giving the man when he signs up to say, "Hey, I want to donate." I don't know what his collection is from them.
I have to look it up. I want to
Sure,
know now.
they're hiking the price up because they have to make money, obviously.
What?
But I don't know what he's actually. I've never done that investigative side of it of like
I
what.
just did,
You know,
and I am floored. I'm in the wrong business. It
what
says,
is it? What is
and
it?
this is according to the Google. It's the first thing that popped up. There's maybe some variants. It is a 2015 article, so take that with it as well. But it is saying here that each sperm sample is about $70 per donation, $50 at the time you do it, and $20 when the sample is released.
Mm,
Wow. So you'd have to go. So in order to make $1,000, that'd be 20 visits. Is that right? I think I did that math right. Oh, and but they're selling it for 1,000. That is incredible. All right. Yeah, I might need to. I was thinking about starting an actual bank, like a money bank. I think the margins are better on a sperm bank, but more on that later. Well, congratulations for getting through that whole process. I mean, it sounds like it's a lot to take on. Number one, it's also there's a financial aspect to it as well. There's an emotional aspect, and there's a timing because, like you said, when you began this, you were concerned about running out of time and having enough healthy eggs that could be fertilized. Now, out of
right.
curiosity, now that your daughter is with us and it's been 7 months, would you do the process again?
Oh, financially, if I'm financially okay to do it, um, yes, I would.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm still looking for my forever man. And I've given myself till 45, so that's another 5 years. The crazy thing is though that the embryos that I have in the freezer still now, they are embryos, so they're the DNA of that other man that I chose. So
Oh, so
obviously,
they
if
could
I
have
get,
siblings. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, if
Okay.
I wanted to have siblings, I can definitely do that at this point. But yeah, if I meet my forever man, then yeah, we would have to do the whole thing all over again, where I would have to retrieve the eggs and match it up with his sperm. And I feel like I'm game for it, even though I didn't want to go through that whole retrieval of the eggs again. But love makes you do different things. So
That it
uh,
does. That it does. So Alicia and
can
I, this.
present yourself,
I'm
then
sorry.
I would do it again, given that, like I said, we're financially appropriately able to do it.
Got it. So this topic is uniquely interesting to me because Alicia and I have been trying to have our second child for over a year now. And we've tried just about everything that we can do by ourselves, from the having an app to track cycles, using the sticks that you pee on,
Yeah.
to the home sperm test kit. I went through that. That's how I know the millions of sperm part, because they were telling me in this one drop, there's over 1 million sperm. I said, no way. And then you look at it under the microscope and you're like, oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Actually, they didn't even send a microscope. It was the coolest thing. They have this camera that I was able to attach to my phone.
No way.
And the camera, you then put the camera on top of, or excuse me, your phone on top of your specimen, which they give you a whole kit, gloves, everything to take a
Yeah.
drop of your sperm and put it. It's not even a drop. It's like a drop of a drop, whatever it is, a little bit. You
Really
put it on
tiny.
the little slide, and then you put the other little. I remember doing all this stuff in elementary school or high
Uh,
school. You put the little sleeve on top of it and smush it down and wait till it spreads out. And I had to put this little dye in it too. I forgot what that was, some
uh,
stabilizer or something. And then
wow.
you put it into the machine and you get to, it records. I think it records like 30 seconds of
Wow.
just, and you look in and you just see sperm just swimming every which way. It was the most incredible thing. I probably watched the video longer than I'm supposed to, because I was just fascinated by it. I was like, wow, and because it just goes in a loop, and so you would sit there and watch it and try to see if you could watch one sperm swim all the way across or something. I don't know. I was fascinated.
That's nice to hear. Thanks for sharing that. Because I mean, I don't know that process of it.
Yeah, it was fun. And then they tell you your readings. Whether you're normal. Well, they don't tell you if you're above normal. They just tell you if you're normal. And I can't remember the numbers, but it was so many swimmers per million.
Hmm.
And then they tell you if you're below normal, and you do the test twice because you want to make sure you get the same results both times.
Hmm.
And so according to that, they said I'm fine, normal basically. But Alicia went and had, I don't know what she had done, but something, and maybe it was just ultrasound, and her doctor said everything seems to be fine. So,
Probably okay.
but we've been trying for over a year. So now we're at the point where we're not using the P sticks. We're not tracking
Mhm.
cycles. We're just saying, all right, if it happens, it happens. However, our insurance does offer assistance once it's been documented that we've been trying for a year.
Oh, that's
And
nice.
that cutoff for us, when she saw her doctor last April, I think it was, that's when they first documented that is in the records that we're trying to have a baby. So we qualify now. We just, COVID and everything else going on. We haven't done anything about it yet, but who knows? We are getting near the end of a cycle, and no symptoms as of yet. So who knows? But I've
Oh,
also been through this 15 months in a row. So there's that. But I'm sure you can understand that part, because, like you said, you went through it for 3 years, that is a long time to be committed to trying. So, and that's really what I'm taking away from this, because I have a lot of clients that ask, because I work with lots of
mhm.
single females. Guys, did you hear that? I'm gonna say it again. I work with lots of single females. And that question comes up when we're talking about their financial planning, and they say, well, I want to have children, but I want to find a man first. But if I don't, then I may just have to do this on my own. And then we start getting into conversations about the cost. And so I appreciate you sharing, because I'm really just going to take your story and share it with others. Well, here's a podcast episode about that exact fact. And if it's okay with you, I'll say, hey, why don't you reach out to Khadijah? She'll tell you all about it.
Absolutely.
So. Well, again, thank you so much for sharing, and just really being. I mean, it's a very intimate story, so we really appreciate you opening up. I learned a lot, and I'm excited to hear about the next chapter. So if there'll be a sibling coming around in the natural ways or in the artistic way. Thanks for joining us on the Money Script podcast. Be sure to check out our other episodes, subscribe, follow, and give us 5 stars. Continue to send your financial questions on Twitter or Instagram at the Money Script. Go to moneyscriptwealth.com and schedule your complimentary consultation to discuss your specific goals and concerns. Financial advisory and investment management services are offered by Moneyscript Wealth Management PLLC, a registered investment advisory firm registered in the state of Texas and California and other states where exempt. The Moneyscript LLC and the Moneyscript Wealth Management PLLC and guests of the episode may have interest in the investments mentioned today. The opinions and views are expressed here are for informational purposes only. This material is educational in nature and should not be deemed as a solicitation for any specific product or service. All investments involve risk and a significant loss of principal. The Moneyscript nor Moneyscript Wealth Management offer tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax advisor or attorney for specific advice about your situation. Until next time.